Queen Mary, renowned for her love of royal jewels, is often remembered for her pearls and emeralds, but her collection of sapphires is equally breathtaking. Over the years, she acquired stunning sapphire pieces, many of which have fascinating connections to the Romanov dynasty. In this video, we'll explore not only the spectacular sapphire jewels still worn by royals today, but also those that have mysteriously vanished from public view. From dazzling brooches to intricate tiaras, let's uncover the secrets behind Queen Mary's remarkable sapphire treasures. Before we begin, please support my channel by clicking the like and subscribe buttons. Thank you. Opening our list today is the stunning Cambridge Sapphire Parure, a magnificent suite of sapphire and diamond jewels that found its way into Queen Mary's legendary collection. She inherited this parure in 1916 from her aunt, Grand Duchess Augusta of Mecklenburg-Strelitz. Originally belonging to Queen Mary's grandmother, Princess Augusta, Duchess of Cambridge, this family treasure had been passed down through generations since the early 19th century. The parure, which included a grand tiara, necklace, bracelets, brooches, and earrings, was renowned for its deep blue sapphires surrounded by dazzling diamonds. The jewels first came into the Cambridge family when Princess Augusta of Hesse-Kassel, the Duchess of Cambridge, acquired them, likely for her marriage to Prince Adolphus, Duke of Cambridge, in 1818. The parure became a family heirloom, passed down to the Duchess's daughter, Princess Augusta of Cambridge, upon her wedding in 1843. For decades, the jewels remained a prominent part of Augusta's collection, worn on grand occasions. When Queen Mary inherited the parure in 1916, it became a valuable addition to her already impressive collection of royal jewels. However, despite their beauty and significance, Queen Mary didn't keep the sapphires for long. In 1934, when her son, Prince George, Duke of Kent, married Princess Marina of Greece and Denmark, Queen Mary gifted the Cambridge Sapphire Parure to her new daughter-in-law as a wedding present. Princess Marina adored the sapphires and wore them frequently at royal events, including state banquets, official portraits, and even on the night before the wedding of her daughter, Princess Alexandra. The parure became one of Marina's most recognizable sets, symbolizing her status within the British royal family. After Princess Marina's death in 1968, the sapphires passed to her son, the Duke of Kent, and his wife, Catherine, Duchess of Kent. Unfortunately, financial difficulties led to the sale of parts of the parure. The original tiara was sold, and in its place, a smaller tiara was created using sapphire and diamond clusters from other pieces of the set. The bracelets were also reconfigured into a choker, offering a more modern take on the historic jewels. I truly regret that the original tiara and much of the Cambridge Sapphire Parure were sold off, leaving behind only fragments of what was once a magnificent set. The new, smaller version of the tiara, created from remaining sapphire and diamond clusters, simply doesn't have the same grandeur as the original. The last time the Duchess of Kent appeared in the updated parure was in the 1980s, but since stepping away from royal duties over 2 decades ago, the sapphires have not been seen in public. It's a great shame that such a historically significant set has disappeared from view. One of Queen Mary's earliest and most significant sapphire pieces was the Russian brooch, a gift from her husband's aunt, Empress Marie Fyodorovna of Russia, in 1893. The brooch, set with a striking sugarloaf sapphire and a large diamond, is crafted in a unique geometric scroll design, making it stand out among Mary's vast collection of jewels. Given as a wedding present, it became a cherished piece for Mary, who often wore it pinned horizontally on her outfits. When Queen Mary passed away in 1953, she left the Russian brooch to her granddaughter, Queen Elizabeth II. Interestingly, while Queen Mary was often photographed wearing the brooch pinned horizontally, Queen Elizabeth preferred to wear it vertically. This subtle difference in how the two queens styled the brooch highlights its versatility, looking elegant in either position. Another jewel with ties to Empress Marie Fyodorovna of Russia found its way into Queen Mary's remarkable collection, the Empress Marie Fyodorovna's sapphire brooch, This stunning piece was originally a wedding gift in 1866 to Marie, then Princess Dagmar of Denmark, from her sister Alexandra and brother-in-law, the Prince of Wales. The brooch, featuring a cabochon sapphire surrounded by diamonds and a delicate pearl drop, became one of Marie's cherished jewels, often accompanying her on visits to Denmark. After the Russian Revolution, when Marie fled to Denmark, she managed to keep the brooch among a few of her remaining possessions. Following her death in 1928, her daughters, Olga and Xenia, sold several jewels, and Queen Mary, always on the lookout for important pieces with royal history, acquired the brooch in 1930. Queen Mary wore the brooch occasionally, favoring it for daytime events, such as the opening of the Albert Dock Hospital in 1938, where she paired it with other pearl jewelry. After her death in 1953, Queen Elizabeth II inherited the brooch. She began wearing the piece in the 1950s, choosing it for important state occasions abroad. When Queen Mary became consort in 1910, she inherited a collection of royal jewels known as the Heirlooms of the Crown, including the famed Prince Albert's brooch. This sapphire and diamond brooch was originally a gift from Prince Albert to Queen Victoria on the eve of their wedding in 1840, and it has since been worn by every British queen, either regnant or consort. Queen Mary rarely wore Prince Albert's brooch, reserving it mostly for daytime events rather than grand occasions. As a result, there are few photographs of her wearing this iconic piece. In fact, the brooch is far more closely associated with Queen Elizabeth II, who frequently wore it throughout her reign. It became one of her favorite pieces, often seen on her during both formal and informal appearances. In 2023, the brooch was first seen on Queen Camilla during a state visit to Germany. Though the design is simple, an oblong sapphire surrounded by diamonds, it remains one of the most iconic pieces in the royal collection, cherished for its historical importance and classic elegance. The next tiara we'll talk about was personally commissioned by Queen Mary herself. In 1914, Mary ordered the creation of the honeysuckle tiara from Gerard, a renowned jeweler responsible for many iconic royal tiaras. The piece was crafted using diamonds recycled from the dismantled County of Surrey tiara. This tiara, with its delicate honeysuckle motif, was designed to be adaptable. The central element could be swapped out to feature different stones, including a sapphire and diamond ornament, the Cullinan 5 diamond, and a pink stone that was long believed to be a topaz, but is now identified as a kunzite. Each of these elements gave the tiara a new look, allowing it to be worn in a variety of settings. Though Queen Mary had the honeysuckle tiara designed to her specifications, she didn't keep it for long. In 1935, she formally passed the tiara to her son, Prince Henry, Duke of Gloucester, so that he could present it as a gift to his bride, Lady Alice Montague Douglas Scott, upon their marriage. Before parting with it, Mary added a new diamond honeysuckle motif to the tiara, while keeping the original central pieces for herself. After Queen Mary's death in 1953, the pink kunzite element was returned to the tiara's new owner, Alice, Duchess of Gloucester. Today, the honeysuckle tiara belongs to Birgitta, Duchess of Gloucester, who inherited it from her mother-in-law, Princess Alice. Over the years, Birgitte has been frequently seen wearing this versatile piece, swapping the central elements to match her outfits for various royal events. Though the honeysuckle tiara has survived to this day, and Alice, Duchess of Gloucester, inherited the pink kunzite element after Queen Mary's death, the sapphire central element was never worn with this tiara. In fact, Queen Mary had other plans for that sapphire, using it in another one of her tiaras, one equally fascinating in design and history. That tiara was Queen Mary's sapphire sunray bandeau, a small diamond tiara with a radiant sunray design. Mary used the same sapphire that had once been part of the honeysuckle tiara as the centerpiece of this bandeau, which could be removed and worn separately as a brooch. She also sometimes replaced the sapphire with her carved emerald brooch, a gift from the ladies of India during the 1911 Delhi Durbar. The tiara's origins are somewhat mysterious. but it first appeared during the later years of King George V's reign, with Queen Mary frequently wearing it in her public appearances. While there's speculation that the tiara may have come from the estate of Dowager Empress Marie Feodorovna of Russia, its exact provenance remains unclear. What we do know is that Queen Mary left the sunray bandeau to Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, who loaned it to Princess Margaret for a number of years. Margaret became the most notable wearer of this elegant piece, donning it for various high-profile occasions, including state dinners, royal tours, and even her appearance at the wedding of Princess Astrid of Norway in 1961. Margaret also frequently wore the sapphire element separately as a brooch. The bandeau hasn't been publicly worn in over 50 years. Whether it remains in the royal vaults or with one of Margaret's children, its current whereabouts are unknown. We can only hope to see it resurface one day, shining once again with its regal sapphire centerpiece. Personally, I would love to see this tiara make a return, allowing us to admire it up close and in detail through modern, high-quality photographs. Continuing with another remarkable piece linked to Empress Marie Feodorovna, we come to a stunning pearl and sapphire choker that Queen Mary acquired during the same estate sale where she purchased other jewels from the Dowager Empress's collection. This choker, distinguished by its geometric sapphire and diamond clasp, is not only visually striking but also versatile, as it can be dismantled and worn as a pair of bracelets, with the clasp doubling as a brooch. Queen Mary didn't wear it often, and wore it a couple times in the 1930s. She was photographed in the choker, which she sometimes wore with her honeysuckle tiara or with sunray bandeau. After Mary's death in 1953, the choker passed to Queen Elizabeth II. While the Queen wore it occasionally in the early years of her reign, it is now most closely associated with Princess Anne, the Princess Royal. Continuing with yet another remarkable Romanov treasure, Queen Mary's collection also included the striking Russian sapphire cluster brooch, which she purchased in 1934 from the daughters of Empress Marie Feodorovna. It features a vivid sapphire at its center, encircled by diamonds and framed by intricate gold filigree, giving it a unique and regal appearance. Queen Mary notably wore the Russian sapphire cluster brooch with the sunray bandeau and in a portrait with the honeysuckle tiara and Empress Maria Feodorovna's sapphire choker. The brooch became a favorite of Queen Mary's daughter-in-law, Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, who wore it frequently during the 1950s and 1960s. After the Queen Mother's passing in 2002, the brooch returned to Queen Elizabeth II's collection. However, it wasn't until 2014 that the Queen first publicly wore the brooch, choosing it for a visit to the Vatican. In the course of preparing this material, I discovered a few additional sapphire brooches from Empress Marie Feodorovna's collection that were likely acquired by Queen Mary. One of these brooches features a large sugarloaf cabochon sapphire surrounded by 4 square diamonds. While I couldn't find any images of Queen Mary wearing this particular brooch, it was passed down through the family and worn by later generations, specifically the Duchesses of Kent. The brooch was originally part of Empress Marie Feodorovna's personal collection, and she was notably photographed wearing it in a series of portraits with her sister, Queen Alexandra, at their Danish residence in 1911. In 1928, Queen Mary purchased this sugarloaf cabochon sapphire and diamond brooch for £2,850, although it appears that she was never photographed wearing it. Shortly before her death in 1953, Queen Mary gifted the sugarloaf sapphire brooch to her daughter-in-law, Princess Marina, Duchess of Kent. Marina, a great-niece of Empress Marie Feodorovna, wore the brooch during the 1950s and 1960s, and it later passed to her son, Prince Edward, Duke of Kent. His wife, the Duchess of Kent, frequently wore the brooch for daytime events. In 1929, Queen Mary likely purchased another sapphire and diamond brooch from the Jewels of Empress Marie Feodorovna. This brooch features a rectangular sapphire flanked by 2 diamonds and was listed among the items sold from the Romanov collection. While the exact sale price isn't recorded, the brooch was described in the Hennel inventory as a large oval brooch with sapphire surrounded by diamonds. Interestingly, there is a photograph of Empress Marie Feodorovna wearing a similar bar-shaped brooch, which suggests that this piece was indeed part of her personal collection. The jewel was later altered and now used as sapphire clasp pearl necklace by Princess Michael. Our adventure through Queen Mary's dazzling sapphire collection has come to an end for today. Which piece was your favorite? Which of these lost or hidden treasures would you love to see make a comeback? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a royal jewel update. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more royal jewelry stories in the next video.